Okay, third time's a charm.
Here we go.
Welcome to It's Not Over, a show where we celebrate women and men who have been through some shit and took that shit and used it as fertilizer.
There you
Just
go.
came up with that.
I love that.
Yeah. So you did, and that is why you were here. And thank you so much for coming.
No,
you came from a long way.
My pleasure.
And to share your story and what you do and who you are and how you help.
Thank you.
So a lot of people are going to learn a lot from you. So Debbie is here. Debbie Borger is here to share a little bit about what she does. And I thought it was so appropriate for the show. So we're good. After the show, you are going to leave stronger. I'm sure of it.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming. Okay, so Debbie Borger, how would you describe who you are today?
Stronger and authentically who I am inside.
Okay. It was, I know it was a journey and we're going to get into it. So how lovely to feel that, because it is a very hard work for women.
Yes.
It's very hard work for women in general. Okay, so this is your word, Deb, right? You've lived through so many life quakes. Which moment stands out as the one that changed you the most?
The one that changed me the most, I'd have to say, was the most recent one 2 years ago, where I left my fiance or ex-fiance at the time in Costa Rica and called a cab and booked a hotel and
hightail it out.
Yeah. When you have to walk away from someone or something that you love because you know that it is no longer safe for you to be there emotionally and so on. So you need to put yourself first, and you're in fight or flight and you're no longer running the show. Your nervous system is.
Yeah.
And I think that when any man or woman actually experiences that experience of your nervous system taking over, your fight or flight, safety saying, we're not safe, we need to leave, this is not good, you know, it's a life-changing experience.
Did you, when this did happen, did you try to give it a chance to work out, or were you like, fuck it, I'm out of here?
Oh no, there had been chances and chances and chances, but apparently always being on two different pages and not knowing it.
Yeah.
No matter how long you're churning in that butter, you're just not getting anywhere.
And you had literally moved your life there.
I did. I closed up shop. Mostly I was down to, I think, like 4 clients, virtual personal training.
Yeah.
I got rid of my house, got rid of everything. Didn't need my business clothes anymore. Didn't need my fitness equipment anymore. Sold my car, sold everything, and went down to Costa Rica again to start a new life with someone else who promised me a job and with their family and, you know, a bright future and, you know,
that
everything that you wanted in a relationship. So.
I think women do that a lot. They fall in love, and let me know what you think, with the potential of someone could be. Like in my past relationships, this person had so much potential. If only he had done this, if only he was like this. And it was, I think this is such a big lesson as we get a little bit older and comes with experience. People are not changing unless they want to.
Correct.
Unless they want
People
to.
change with me every day because they want to.
Yeah.
It's like Megan Fox wrote in Unrealized Potential, the poem that she was that all about that is, you know, falling in love with someone for the potential that you see in them, but they're not capable of rising to that potential. They're not, nor do they really even want to. So you're, you know, I see so much for you. You could be so great. You could be this, you could be that. And it really only makes them feel inadequate and less than, because they're never going to be capable of rising to that expectation unless they want to.
And it's cyclical. Women continue to choose the wrong person. And I think as women,
oh, are you broken? I can help. I can fix you.
You like
I'm
broken,
strong.
right? Right? If you're not broken, I'd rather not, right?
No, not anymore.
But we learn.
Because you break. They break you.
We learn. I think as women, we want to fix things.
Yes.
I think as mothers, we want to fix things. I think as women, we want to fix things. Because I think we grew up watching our parents I don't know about you, but my mom was always just like fixing stuff. And that was a woman's role. And I think women in that day and age just stayed.
Yep.
I don't think divorce or finding yourself or starting a business or starting anew was an option. Certainly not at 50, certainly not at 40.
No.
So we're in this new awesome generation
where men who are used to the traditional way of a home being where the wife stays home and cooks and cleans and does the laundry and walks the dog and takes care of things around the house while the man goes and travels and does whatever he wants and enjoys his hobbies, when they are presented with a woman who wants her own achievements and goals and business and to achieve her dreams, they are threatened by it because all of a sudden it's challenging them to also rise up, and they don't want that because traditionally they're used to that the woman stays home and doesn't argue, doesn't have any problem with me traveling all over with that and doing all of the things and living their life, and that's not us. That's not me.
No. And I commend women that stay home and it is a job, but I do see, as you do also, I'm sure, they give up so much
of course
of themselves.
Why, when women that I work with come to me after their kids get out of high school and they're empty nesters and they now have all this time on their hands and they're just kind of walking around like, what am I going to do now? And I need to go back to work and I need to do this and I want to do that. But they don't know how to get there because they've been raising children and keeping a household. I mean, I don't have kids, and so, but I've raised other people's children. And for me, they were all through trauma. They have all been through trauma. And so, these women come out either divorced or, because how many women come out after their kids go to college and they decide that they want to get divorced? I mean, that's what you do, right?
A lot.
So, but women in menopause who now have to go through that, and it's like, how do I get where I want to go? How do I get all those years back and make up for the time? And how do I get my body back? How do I eat right? Those are the things that I help them with.
And that's where the coaching comes in, right?
That's where the coaching comes
in.
And
I explain it. I'm going to let you explain it also. It is, here we are, here's a map, it's go time from this on. What do you have? What can you take with you? And a lot of times it's leaving things that people become extremely attached to, but it's no longer serving them. So it's hard and it's a process, but that is very much where the coaching comes in. So I want you to tell me a little bit about what you do in that realm.
So through my life quake, which started,
I love that word.
I woke up 2 years ago, 2 days before Christmas, back in the United States, with no place to live, no car, and no clients. And I had no idea what was going on in my life, in my world, or what was going to be. I just knew I had a whole entire life to rebuild.
Yeah.
And I had just pretty much left it.
How old were you?
2 years, 45.
Okay.
When this happened.
Okay.
The Christmas I was 45, and so right before my birthday and right before my 10-year sobriety, I was 3 months shy of reaching the biggest milestone I have ever set for myself. And narcissistic discard, we're done, you're done, I can't do this anymore. Didn't know that there was and that was it. And then but stay, well, we won't get into those details,
right? Next time. Yes.
But I woke up and for 2.5 months, my nervous system was not okay. It was a state of overwhelm, which is basically when the world is moving at a rate that our psyche and our nervous system can't handle.
Right.
Everything was spinning. Everything was this doom loop in my brain. But gradually, over the course of those 2 months, and accepting that I needed, some help to be able to kind of settle the nervous system and get back on track, I began to work with a coach myself, and I began to set little steps and goals for myself and break this big dream that I had up. My coach said to me, What is it that you want to do if money were no option and time weren't an issue and you could do anything you've always wanted to do? What would you do?
It's the best question.
And isn't it? Because nobody really ever asks themselves
and
that.
Women don't even want to think of it. It's too big for them to think about because they don't believe it could ever happen.
Right. Yeah. And here I was 46 now, and I'm like, I can do anything I want to do. I could move to California, to Arizona, to Colorado. I mean, I really could have had done anything, but I said, well, I always had this dream that I saw myself standing on stage speaking to other women and helping other women. My grandmother on my mom's side was a public speaker and an author, and she had her own TV show, but I never really embraced that side of my lineage. But it was always inside, like I always felt it. I want to write a book. I want to, I just knew it was there. And so I gradually started to work towards that goal. About midway through, I realized that there were these steps that I had set for myself in this process.
Right.
And that's when I really began to look and say, okay, 3 months, I'm out of my sister's bedroom. 5 months later, I'm out back into my own apartment. How did I get to these things so quickly? And, then I was published in Authority magazine and just starting to like really reach those goals and see that. And so I created what's called the E3 method. But the E3 stands for elevate your mind, elevate your body, and elevate your world. The 3 pillars of many pillars of health and well-being.
Yeah.
But these 3 pillars were fitness, nutrition, and mindset. So I had lost so much weight and body fat. I was down to 113 pounds and 13% body fat.
Wow.
That's what a bodybuilder competitor walks out on stage.
Wow.
Okay. So I couldn't eat. I couldn't work out. I would go to the gym. I could barely walk the dog. I would go to the gym. I'd sit down. I'd like look around, pick something up, put something down, and just walk out.
Yeah.
That's where I started. Aimless. Like most women when they go to the gym, what am I supposed to do? But here I am, a personal trainer.
Yeah.
And then mindset was, I was so hard on myself through this. And it was I won't curse on it, but it was like a mind curse. It was a mind fuck what was going on, what he was doing to me after. And I was in this holding pattern. And so it was really messing with my psyche. And I was, in the middle of the night having panic attacks and things like that. So I really needed to work on my own mindset and focusing forward and not behind and also not future tripping about what's going to happen and what am I going to do? And then I created this program, which is actually a 5-step program. So you have the 3 pillars, fitness, nutrition, and mindset. And I look at those 3 areas and I say, okay, the first one is vision. What do I want for my life in my fitness, nutrition, and my mindset?
Not what you should be doing, right? A lot of women get caught up in what they should be doing, not what they really want to do. Dream big.
Right. And it could be anything. It doesn't have to be fitness. It could be, like I said, I want to be a public speaker. I want to be a coach. I'm a teacher. I have a dual degree in education. So that wasn't far off for me.
It was in your wheelhouse.
It was in my wheelhouse.
Yes.
The next step was assessment. Say, okay, where am I now? What do I need to do? What do I need to change? Let's look at the way that I'm working out. Let's look at the way that I'm eating. Let's look at like getting some professional help to help me. So I got a coach. Then action. And that coach actually helped me put those steps into a working method of, this is what I want to get to, but this is what we're going to break it down. So we're going to conquer one step at a time. And yes, you can look at the whole staircase, but let's just keep in mind 1 step at a time. I still have a problem with that.
Yes.
I want to go from here to here and not each step at a time.
Hence the word baby steps.
Yes.
Right.
And then reassessment, like going back and saying, okay, where I am right now in my own business, what's working, what's not working, what needs to be changed, how does it need to be changed? And then the last step I said was, my coach said this too, is, your GPS, but I say it's my iGPS, which is my inner guidance system. because I established in the very beginning that my North Star was going to not come back and be a personal trainer again, but to come back and serve more people, more women that have gone through the life quakes that come out of nowhere in your life: cancer, sickness, divorce, betrayal. Like I had a huge betrayal by the two people I trusted most. And I didn't even learn that until like a year after. So I was on my way, and then another life quake comes in. And that's what I tell people is like, the life quakes aren't going to stop coming. The earth doesn't stop shifting.
Right.
You're just going to be able to handle them better. And we're going to be able to together navigate around them better to be able to get you back onto your path to reach and achieve your goals.
You're giving people tools, right?
Exactly.
Giving people tools based on what works. And I love what you said about reassessing. Maybe you thought you wanted this, and I don't know about you, Deb, but I thought I was going to be here, and I had a failed business, and I just was like, okay, we're not going to do that anymore. I'm not going to try to put a square peg in a round hole. We're going to shift.
Right.
And that's life.
Right. And look what you're doing now. And it's amazing.
Thank you. I'm having fun. I'm definitely having fun.
And that's the other thing.
Yeah.
Is having fun.
I was thinking when you were talking about the ease, excited. I was thinking excited.
Yes.
Because I like to get people excited about things.
Yeah. It's elevated.
You
know, like elevate everything. You know, just being happy again. I mean, it was like that, the Sex and the City, where she's like, do you think I'll ever laugh again? They're like, you'll laugh when something's really funny.
Right.
And when I laughed, I was just like, that feeling, we take it for granted, that elevated feeling. And I don't ever want to, do that again.
Yeah. You're cognizant
exciting.
Of what led you there. Yes. Now, when this happened with your ex-partner, and you mentioned you live with your sister, and this is something I want to talk about. Who was there for you during that time? Because I'm always talking about a girl gang, whether it be family. Yes. Who was there for you?
I call it my circle of strength.
Okay.
I didn't want to talk to anyone.
I bet.
You know that feeling.
I bet.
But when you're restarting your life and a business, you have to go talk to everybody.
Yes.
In the first 2.5 months, actually, it's really interesting that you asked me this, because my high school best friends did not learn of what actually happened to me until just this past weekend when I was home in Philadelphia. I didn't want to talk to anyone or tell anyone.
There's shame around it.
There's a lot, because everybody else knew this was going to happen from what they told me, but nobody told me, or they, thought I was different.
Right.
And so the first circle of strength were my two good, close girlfriends that I became close with in Costa Rica. They were the ones that kind of, were like, listen, they knew him the longest, and they were like, this is.
How does that make you feel when someone says that? We saw the signs, or we didn't want to say anything, or how does that make you feel?
I mean, I think everybody just thought that this person was going to be different, that I was going to be different because I was a different person. I was a different caliber of a person than he had ever dated.
Yeah.
So
he was dating up, I bet.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think those expectations that I hold for myself were a lot of pressure on somebody, that can't handle that. But the girls, it was, I mean, I had someone actually who said to me, I tell all my girlfriends to stay away from him.
Wow.
But my friend said to me that, they had said to him, like, don't do this what you do to everyone else. If you're going to move her down here, you better make sure that it's, right and true.
Right.
And I think it was.
Well, there should be rules. There should be rules.
Well, yeah. And the rules were,
sorry.
I'm not moving my whole entire life for you unless you're serious and there's some sort of commitment. I mean, I'm not moving my life to Costa Rica for, and so he proposed, and then later said that he proposed only to get me to move.
Those were his words to you?
Is not to me specifically, but to other reliable, said, I didn't plan on marrying her. I proposed to her to get her to move to see if it would work.
Wow.
And that's pretty selfish, and
that's super selfish.
Going forward, my circle of strength was my sister for sure, and my brother-in-law, because here I landed on their doorstep 2 days before. I mean, we're Jewish, we don't celebrate Christmas, but we celebrate Christmas. You know what I mean? I mean, everybody's like off on Christmas. You're with your family anyway because nothing's open.
It's the Chinese food. There you go.
So that was definitely them. My good friends Cindy and Carl, they let me live with them Carl let me live with them for about 5 months after I left my sister's house. And I didn't even want my parents to come down. I really, and my ex's sister, she was and still is to this day my rock.
Wow.
She had experienced something similar, and she knew what I was going through, but she also knew that just because he and I, as she said, just because you're divorcing her doesn't mean I am, or just because you're breaking up with her doesn't mean I am. And she was a really, supportive to me and her husband, because I spent hours on the phone with them. But there were some other girlfriends, absolutely, that as I started to become more comfortable in Jupiter again, my close girlfriends were there to help me move into my apartment. My sponsor came up.
They showed up.
She helped me move in. I mean, these women came in, 5 of them, and they unpacked my entire house in one day. Just put everything away.
That's what we do.
Yeah. And my friends in Costa Rica, I can't not mention the 2 women, Sammy and Gail, who actually helped me pack all of my things because my ex couldn't even be bothered to help me pack. It was too sad. Yeah. So they helped me pack all my stuff to leave the country. And, in the grand scheme of the relationship, I had 7 different addresses. I had moved 7 different addresses in 3 years, 5 different moves. I mean, it was insane.
Do you feel like that was your path? Is that a corny question to even ask?
No.
Because I really want to ask it.
I think it was what the universe needed to do for me, because I wouldn't have done it myself. And I knew, and I think that was the universe's way of shaking things up and saying, no, you were meant to do this. You were meant to help other women. You were meant to write this book. You were meant to do all these things. And it was like, I said to my cousin and my aunt, who are also a part of my circle of strength and been through something similar, this is like my grandmother speaking to me through the grave.
I was thinking that.
To her, coming and saying, no, you're too good to just be somebody's housewife and just sit in the condo in Costa Rica and just stay there.
It's go time.
Yeah.
Now.
Like your world needs to be shaken up enough that have no other choice than to dig out of the ashes and rebuild.
That's your life quake.
What I did.
It's so nice that you're sharing that with people.
Yeah. I mean, as
a learning experience.
Absolutely. And I mean, I've had other major big life quakes, but I think that from not dealing with them and suppressing them and just keep go, that this was the straw that broke my back. And my nervous system just said, enough. Like we can't, this isn't going to be fixed in like 3 weeks. You need to, I was in a state of freeze.
I bet you
That's
were.
it.
What about, because I know you said you were in recovery. Were you tempted at that time?
So my choices really, I didn't have a car. I didn't have a way to, try and go out and get a job and do anything. And I said to my sister, I'd been a bartender for like 20 years all over, and I said, I think I'm going to have to go back to bartending just to get some quick cash so I can start to meet people, talk to people, and get personal training clients. But I didn't want to just go back to just personal training. And she said, well, that if you go back to bartending, you're going to end up drinking again. And I said, yeah, I'm sure of that. And she said, well, you told us that if you were ever going to drink again or go back to bartending, to tell you to go to an AA meeting. Because I was 9 years and 9 months sober all by myself. I had never gone to AA. I had never, but I was also dry sober. There was also character flaws that I hadn't dealt with or that I didn't see. And, so I went on an online meeting Oh my God, I just got butterflies thinking about it. It was in that online meeting that my ex called me and I didn't answer. And after I got off the meeting, I looked at my phone and there was a text message that said, I no longer see this relationship continuing, and I'll let you know when you can come back, to get your things in Costa Rica. And I was like, wow, a text message.
Thanks for the heads up.
As I'm in like my first AA meeting, it was like another sign.
It is a sign.
And so I continued to go to AA and on an online group because I didn't have a car. And it was really started to shed some light on some things about community and leaning on other women, because I was only in women's groups. I still really only primarily go to women's. And, everything kind of just came out of that, embracing other women and their troubles and their life quakes as well. And then everyone telling me like, you're so inspirational because you've not just been through this, but all the other life quakes that you've been through. And, you need to go out and help other women. So I started sponsoring some young women that get out of rehab. And so I'm bringing the E3 program to different rehab facilities as an option for care when they are finished.
Wow.
Their rehab. Yeah. But I'm a one-woman show, so
yeah. I'm
so
thinking as
growing,
you're talking, we're going to do something,
yes.
You and I.
Awesome. I love that.
Okay. Now, quickly, what is next for you? You're going to do this.
Yes.
What is next?
So,
and then I want you to talk about how people can get your book and how people can get in touch with you.
Well, the book is still being written, but the workbook will be out first to go along with the E3 program. I actually, and a girlfriend, Gigi Jamis, she and I are launching what's called the E3 Collective. And the E3 Collective is my first small group coaching program. It's actually geared towards younger women, millennials, 25 to about 35, that are really just starting out in the world and need that foundation of coaching from experienced women like us.
That is it.
To help teach them how to have boundaries, how to have self-respect, how to set goals, to talk about fitness, nutrition, health, mindset. We're talking about finances. We're talking about learning how to do a budget for ourselves.
I'm glad you mentioned finance.
Oh, absolutely.
Because that is
it's
big
the biggest
stress.
one.
You can't have one without the other. If you're worried about money and your body isn't healthy and your mind isn't healthy, it's a crazy trilogy.
Yeah. How about just knowing how much money you make and how much you spend?
Yeah.
And I had figured that out after I got sober. So only 11 years ago did I have budgets in my Excel. I just go to work and bartend and make more money the next day. I mean, why can't I just go spend it? But there's a lot of girls that are doing that, and there's a lot in the wellness space that are in corporate and want to leave and go open their own yoga studios and go into health and wellness as well, and they don't know where to start.
Yeah.
So it's a small group coaching program. Every month is a different theme, like the ones I just mentioned. And it's a 2-hour meet, either online or in person. And the first hour is a workout or movement from a specialist in town, that matches the month's theme.
Wow.
And then the second hour is coaching by me through the E3 principles of the program. And I will bring in other professionals as well in certain areas like finances or whatever is needed,
like assessing, like you're saying.
Yes,
this is your ground level. And
yes, so this is where we're starting, and you want to get to here, and what if someone came to you when you were younger, before you got married or before, and said, these are the things in a relationship that you should have. These are the non-negotiables. What are your non-negotiables? Do you even know?
People do not talk about it. I had a financial advisor here before you. People don't ask, what is your relationship with money? What are you thinking about for your kids' college? How much of our budget should go to a car?
Yes.
How much of our budget should go to a vacation?
Do you have a 401k? Do you know what a 401k is? Like,
women are afraid to ask. So interesting.
And men don't teach. Most men don't teach. I mean, I learned from my father, but I can watch my other significant others who have had daughters, are you teaching them how to budget? Are you teaching them about their finances? So I mean, my father never sat down to me and said, this is a 401k. These are mutual funds. These are, I didn't know any of that. And the first thing I did when I got back from Costa Rica was hire a good friend who's a very good female financial planner.
There you go.
And said, okay.
And to be sharing it with younger people,
yes.
that is where even in elementary school,
yep.
girls should know, teenagers should know. Before your first relationship, it's communication.
Yep. I'm even bringing in a sex therapist, a sex coach.
Okay.
For even things in relationships, like just because you're in a relationship doesn't mean that you have to be sexually active.
Right.
When they want to be, or, to talk about that as well, and just teach young women. I mean, I've been through multiple traumatic relationships, and, do you hold your boundaries? Do you not hold your boundaries? What is acceptable? What is not acceptable physically, sexually, emotionally, and mentally? Who's teaching this? Right?
Like you said, they fall. And then hopefully they reach out to someone like a coach to find themselves. But to look back and say, I maybe should have done things differently. I maybe should have left before. We spoke about people wait till their kids go to college.
Mm-hmm.
Your kids know you're not happy.
Right.
They know that.
Right.
So it's that knowledge is power, and the communication is so important.
Right.
I love what you're doing.
And sometimes, women don't want to talk to their parents.
Yeah.
I mean, no matter how close your daughter is with you, she's keeping something from you.
Oh my gosh.
I mean,
yes.
I'm sorry.
Yes.
And my ex used to say that all the time, and she tells me everything. Well, if you look in my phone,
right.
I can tell you some other stuff, but nothing, but just because they confide in women.
Correct.
And they confide in what makes them feel safe and not judged, and that they're not going to anger someone.
Right.
And it's important.
It's a safe place. It's a safe place.
Right. And, I know there are a lot of, young women that need it, and I need to focus on those that do instead of, ones that don't. And so
they have to want it too.
Yes. And women our age, too, I look back before I left for Costa Rica, and I say, what was I missing that I was willing to give up so much for someone?
Mm-hmm.
Right? Was I really being honest with myself? Was I really happy, or was I just bored and stagnant and stuck and looking for an out? And this was like a world promised to me, a future promised to me, that was gaslighting and love bombing. But when you're looking for something,
right,
you don't even see that coming. You're like, yeah, I'll take it.
Right.
It's
shiny.
Yeah. Different, new, change, the good change.
The
dopamine goes up.
Yeah.
You're like, this is awesome. My dream is finally coming true. Now I know what everyone else is finally talking about.
Right.
Because you're just not being honest with yourself and making yourself happy from the inside out. You're looking for something else to do it. So
correct.
Who's going to tell you that? Who's going to be open and honest and tell you that? Your friends? Not really.
No.
Your parents? Well, no, they want to see you happy and they hope the best for you.
Right.
But a coach is going to sit there and tell you like it is.
Yeah.
And you might not like what I have to say, but I'm going to say it anyway. But I'm going to say it nicely. I'm going to say it in a way that you'll understand, not something that makes you feel like you're being attacked.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what we do.
That's what we do.
That's what we do.
Yeah.
Okay, so how does somebody get in touch with you, Debbie Borger?
So I am on,
and I'm gonna put it in the comments.
Yeah,
I'm gonna put all your good stuff in there so people can.
The basic social media is LinkedIn, my website dbwellbeing.com, email, anything. Mostly, go on the website, check out all the information, and my Instagram is actually Deb Wellbeing, DEB. Wellbeing, because someone took the DB, but that's okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So the website is DB Wellbeing, but the Instagram is Deb Wellbeing. And just reach out and hopefully connect. And like I said, I do virtual and I do in person, and just want to help. Just want to be there through. I want to be for other women the person that I needed most in my darkest days, and teach them everything that worked for me along the way.
Mm-hmm. You are.
That's what I say.
By the way.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right. We're going to wave bye, Debbie Borger.
Bye.
Thank you guys for joining us. Share this with someone that might learn something about themselves. Sharing is caring. And we will see you next time. Bye.